Yo, it's the Action Figure Show. On tonight's dope episode, we look at the action figure of the week. The top 5 unreleased Nintendo games. We try to beat the collector with that dog's usual mic. We have an unreleased action figure spotlight. Stupid action figure stunts. Special guest, Mark Skippy Price. The latest in action figure news that's not whack, and more on the Action Figure Show. Now, back from sucking on a chili dog outside the Tasty Freeze, it's that Junkman. Grandmama. It was his grandmama.
Oh, his grandmother. Okay, well, welcome to the Action Figure Show. This is where we give you the latest news in action figures. Just talk about action figures, toys. Sometimes we talk movies. Sometimes we just cut up and have fun. You never know what we're going to talk about or what we're going to do. But we always start the show, and I asked Larry how was his weekend. And being that Larry's not here and Gangster Chewbacca's filling in, we're going to check in with Gangster Chewbacca and ask him how his weekend was. Gangster, how was your weekend?
Oh, it was great, dog. I went to my girlfriend's parents' house, and we had corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah. When I ask Larry how his weekend was, it's usually something very exciting and something I can play off of and ask him more about it.
You don't find cabbage exciting?
Not too much, gangster. Not too much. Well, let's just start with action figure news. There was a couple in the UK who had a neighbor that passed away, and when he passed away, they learned that he left them his house. Who does that? What kind of neighbor dies and leaves a person their house? Well, apparently this is what happened in the UK. But being left a house wasn't the best part. In the garage was a huge collection of vintage Star Wars figures. They sold the Star Wars figures in an auction and ended up making more than the house was worth. They raked in over $550,000 in Star Wars toys. At least that's what the report says. That seems a little high if you ask me. In the collection was a vinyl Cape Jawa that sold for almost $30,000. And that's US dollars. Believe me, I know it's a UK story, but I converted it over to United States dollars just to see what it would be worth. And that's what it came up with. I tell you, if my neighbor was going to leave me just 3 Star Wars figures, I hope he dies tomorrow. What do you think about that story, Chewie?
That just proves my theory that every dog has its day.
You're right, Larry. That's an interesting take right there. A lot of you guys sent me that story on Twitter and Facebook and even in the YouTube comments, so I couldn't find out how to do a whole video, and there wasn't that much information in it. So there you go. If you didn't know the story, hopefully you know it now. Well, let's go on to figure of the week. This is where we look at an action figure of the week. We just look at a random action figure and talk about it. And today's action figure of the week, we're going to go to 1992 and look at one of the first exclusive figures from the adult collector's boom of the 90s. 1992, we're going to look at the KB exclusive Wolverine Weapon X. The figure was released to all stores wearing black underwear, but this exclusive KB Weapon X came with green underwear. This was a very hot item back in 1992, and as I said before, it's one of the first exclusives during the big toy collector boom that started off in the early 90s. It was sold at KB retail stores for around $5. But on the secondary market, you could get it for about $50. And today, you can head over to eBay and find one for about $15. Not bad, $15. Did you get that one, gangster?
No, dog. Back then in the early 90s, my D was deep in P.
Should have got that one. I think I picked up about 2 or 3 of them. My plan was, you know, when I hit about 35 or 40, to retire off how much money I would make off these. That didn't work like a lot of the other figures I bought in the 90s.
I did collect the Playmates.
But you got a what?
I did collect those Star Trek Playmate figures. I hope to sell them one day.
It's worth your memories. That's about all you got, Gangster Chewbacca, is your memories with that line right there. So now let's look at an unreleased action figure line. And this is one I'm sure you all love. I've talked about it before, but let's take a little look at the Mego Dallas action figure line that didn't get released. Can you believe it? A Dallas action figure. We almost had them. Check it out. Yes, after the Mego guys turned down Star Wars, they looked into doing another line that could be just as popular. And one they looked into doing was Dallas. That's right. Action figures based on the South Fork action heroes. JR, Bobby Ewing, Sue Ellen, and I can't really remember anyone else's name from the show. This was right around the big Who Shot JR craze, so maybe they would have made a figure based on that girl that shot JR. Don't remember her name either. But as you can see here, what the Dallas figures would have looked like. Sadly, they never got released. Sadly. I guess that's sadly. Maybe it's a good thing they never got released. Okay, now we're going to talk about... What's that, gangster?
Man, have you checked out the latest issue of Jet Magazine yet?
What's that? No, I didn't even know they made Jet Magazine anymore. I haven't seen a Jet Magazine since probably 1989 when they did that 3-page spread on Sprinderella. That was an interesting read, I give them that.
Well, dog, you got to check out the latest issue. They did a whole article on Yo-Yo.
Catch up with yo-yos? Now, I'm in the toys, but I'm not looking at our article about yo-yos.
Oh, dog, I'm talking about that rapper, Yo-Yo. You can't play with my yo-yo.
Let's move on. Let's look at the top 5 Nintendo games that never got released. Now, I don't know about you, but growing up in the 80s, I was huge into Nintendo. I loved Mario. I loved Link and Zelda and Milan's Castle, or whatever it's called. I love Contra. Contra was a really good, really great game. Double Trouble, Double Bubble, whatever it was called. Bubble Double, I don't know, something like that. But I loved all these classic games for Nintendo. And there were at least a lot of them that they were planning to make that we didn't get. I remember seeing ads in them in magazines and Nintendo Power and stuff and couldn't wait to play them, and we never did get them. But let's look at 5 of them that's kind of based on movies or television themes that we didn't get. I think you'll find this interesting, and you'll probably be like me and wish that we had them also. So let's start with number 5. It's a cooking game. Would have been a lot of fun. Spock in the Kitchen, based on Mr. Spock from the Star Trek series. This is where you have Spock in the kitchen you had to cook up some meals for Captain Kirk and the crew. I don't know about you, but that sounded like it would have been a lot of fun right there. Let's go with number 4. This one looked like it was going to be a lot of fun right here. The Phoebe Cates Virtual Pool Party. Anyone that grew up in the 80s watching Fast Times and remembers Phoebe Cates, who was also beautiful in Gremlins, but a virtual pool party? I think even Gangster Chewbacca would enjoy that one, wouldn't you, Gangster?
Well, that's what I'm talking about, dog. Now that's a game I would have played every night.
I tell you who would have liked that game, Itchy Chewbacca. Is that the old man Chewbacca from the holiday special that like to watch virtual porn? Remember that? Crazy. Well, let's go to number 3. This one's more for the older Nintendo fans. Probably your grandma would probably enjoy this one. Madlock. Remember Madlock, the television show? Well, they was going to make a Madlock game called Madlock. The murder was the case they gave him. That would have been a great game. In this one, you had to play as Madlock, trying to defend yourself and get off as being accused of murder. That's right, you were being accused of murder. You were being accused of murder, and you were your own lawyer. That sounded like it would have been a really great game. Madlock. Where are you to now? Number 2, another murder mystery game. Remember Jessica Fletcher from Murder, She Wrote? She almost had her own game with Murder, She Wrote, Jessica's Diary. Now this one was going to be for the Virtual Boy. I don't know if you remember the Virtual Boy. Hopefully you do. Didn't last long, but it would have been an all red game. So if you saw any murders in this game, probably wouldn't have known if you saw blood or not. Whew, you remember Jessica Fletcher?
Do I remember her? She's still in my spank bank today.
Take your word for that, gangster. Now for the number 1 Nintendo game we didn't get, but we wish we did. Renegade. Reno's Hard Ride. Anybody remember this show? Come on, I'm sure. It starred Lenzo Lamas and who was the other guy? Wayne Newton. I think Wayne Newton was the other guy on the show. Almost got a game based on that. That would have been a lot of fun. What about you? Did you watch Reno? Oh, not Reno. What was it called? Renegade. Did you watch Renegade? Larry. Gangster.
That Yoda cracks me up. Oh no, man. Darth Vader. Oh, they've hired bounty hunters. Oh no.
Gangster, stop reading. We're trying to do a show here. We'll be right back.
This just in from Lino Kitty City. Time is running out.
It's Lino Kitty City's Dear Santa sale now through Wednesday. Our last big sale before Christmas, where you'll save big on all your favorite bikes, dolls, board games, electronic talking dolls, home computers and video games, action figures and vehicles, even race and train sets.
That's Lino Kitty City's Dear Santa sale now through Wednesday. Gotta go. Time's running out.
Let Lino Kitty City turn that frown upside down.
Welcome back to the Action Figure Show. Now let's jump into some news here. Let's talk about NECA. Are you a fan of the 80s movie My Bloody Valentine? I know you are. Everyone is. I never met anyone that's not a fan of it. Even people that's never seen it are huge fans of it. Well, thanks to NECA, we got a minor figure from it. Let's take a look. NECA is releasing the minor figure from the 80s classic My Bloody Valentine. This figure will ship this coming February. You can either buy the figure itself or as a bundle with a steelbook Blu-ray of the film. The disc is the same as the already released Blu-ray. I would be kind of more excited, but I've never seen My Bloody Valentine, and be honest with you, once I found out it wasn't about Scott Valentine, I didn't watch it. You know, I just popped in my VHS copy of Hard to Hold and watched it over and over. What about you, gangster? Did you watch My Bloody Valentine?
I love that movie. It starred Marilyn Chambers, and Ron Jeremy played her boyfriend that took her daughter, who played her daughter, Tracy Lords, out for her first date on Valentine's Day.
Don't think we're talking about the same movie, gangster. Larry, I miss you. This guy's bringing the show down. Okay, now this is the part where we try to stump a celebrity. That's right, we're going to try to stump a celebrity. No, not Mark Price. He's coming up a little later in the show. Remember that? Mark Price? Remember Skippy? Gangster, you remember Gangster? Do you remember Skippy?
Who the hell is Jippy?
Skippy! From Family Ties.
Man, I didn't watch that white shit.
Okay, this is where I'm going to try to stump YouTuber Usual Mike. I think I called it Unusual Mike in the last episode. Usual Mike, if you don't know him, he's a YouTube guy. He talks about toys, covers a lot of current Star Wars and toy news. So I think you really enjoy his channel. I'll put a link to his channel in the description below in this video. But we're going to try to stump him with some trivia. Are you ready? Let's bring him down. Usual Mike. If you ask me, he's not all that usual. He's kind of unusual, so that's why I called him that. But let's try to stump him with some Star Wars toy trivia. It's going to be tough. Gangster, you want to ask him the first question?
Sure, I'll do that. I already got a hard one for him. Now, in one figure that was released in the first 12 Star Wars action figures.
Ooh, that's a good one, Gangster Chewbacca. That's a good one right there. Okay, Usual Mike. Can you name the first 12 figures in the Star Wars set?
Hello Junkman fans, this is Usual Mike here. The answer to the first question is Luke Skywalker.
This guy is good. But I got one thing's going to stump him right here. What was the toy company that made vintage Star Wars figures? If he gets this one, there's nothing usual about him.
The toy company gets a lot of different names, but the main one, we call it, is Hasbro.
He's 2 for 2. Chewbacca, this guy's 2 for 2.
Actually, it was Kenner. Hasbro didn't buy Kenner until the early 90s. Junkman, you really should watch these videos before you interact with them. Anyway, this guy seems pretty good, so ask him question number 6.
Okay, I'll ask him that one. That's going to get him. Okay, Usual Mike. Let's see if you get this one. What kind of weapon did the original Luke Skywalker action figure come with? This is going to be a tough one, even for a guy that's usual.
Luke Skywalker came with a lightsaber, unlike mine that does not have any.
I don't think we've stumped anybody with this trivia yet. Maybe we need to skip this trivia altogether. These guys are too good. What we at? Number 2. This is going to be a tough one here. The 1985 Power of the Force figures came with something more than just a weapon. What did the 1985 Power of the Force action figures come with?
The answer to the next question, I had to flip a coin over to decide what it was. It was a coin.
Gangster, what are we going to do?
Ask him what color that Luke Skywalker lightsaber is.
No, I'm not going to ask him that one. That one's way too easy. We got to get one that's going to stump him. What else we got over here we can ask him?
Ask him question 167.
Oh, you're right. Let me find that one. We got you now, Unusual Mike. Usual Mike. Here we go. What did the original Han Solo action figure come with? A gun or a lightsaber? Let's see if you're so tough now. See if you can answer this one, Mike.
Han Solo, captain of the Millennium Falcon, came with a gun.
There's no stopping this kid. Anyway, thank you, Unusual Mike. You didn't let us stomp you. You know your Star Wars action figures. He's really, really, really good. Check out his channel again, link in the description below. And I want to thank Usual Mike for coming on and doing the show for me. Hopefully I edited that all right together. It's kind of hard to see it in my head and then try to interact with it. It's not a real TV. Okay, Chewbacca, what's next?
Luke Skywalker's Peppy. Joker's crazy. He ain't Luke Skywalker's Peppy.
Chewbacca, gangster, doing a video here. What's next?
Oh yeah, let me see what's next. Oh yeah. News. Gotta finish up some news.
Oh, news. Let's get back to action figure news. I think you'll really enjoy this one right here, especially if you're if you're a fan of The Mandalorian. You'll enjoy this one right here. Hot Toys teased 2 upcoming Hot Toys based on The Mandalorian. They didn't show us the whole figure. They just teased us. Let's take a look at them. First up is a Hot Toy based on the chicken salesman that comes with a dark saber. Oh, I can't wait to see what this figure looks like, and just having the dark saber would be pretty cool. And the other they tease us is a Tusken Raider based on the ones we saw in The Mandalorian. This is going to be exciting. There's no shipping date on these 2 Hot Toys as of yet. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, Junkman, I need more Mandalorian news. Well, Hasbro revealed a new Mandalorian Stormtrooper. We're going to take a look at that right now. Here it is, the 6-inch Black Series Stormtrooper that looks pretty badass and all beat up. If this isn't cool, then I don't know what is. But that's not it. We got more toys coming from The Mandalorian. You know, a while back they released a Boba Fett helmet. You've probably seen it in some of my videos. Inverted Penis loves to wear it. Anyway, they got a Mandalorian helmet coming out also. Take a look. The Black Series Mando helmet. Much like the released Boba Fett helmet, but this one looks like the one Mando wears. Man, I know his name's not Mando, and it's some name I can't pronounce, but I kind of call him Mando. He's always going to be Mando to me. What we got now? Oh, this is the part of the show where we ask Larry some love advice. This is the part of the show where we ask Larry some love advice based on some letters you sent in to us. Sadly, Larry's not here, so we're going to have to ask Gangster Chewbacca. I don't know if he knows anything about love, but we're going to find out. Gangster, are you ready to give your love advice to one of our listeners, one of our viewers?
Bring it on, dog. Bring it on.
Okay, Gangster, here goes. I hope you can help this guy out. Let's read his, let's put it up on the screen and read it. Larry, I'm in love with a girl. We've been dating for almost 6 years, and she's starting to really pressure me into putting her toy collection with my toy collection. I love her, but I'm not sure I'm ready for that. Any advice? Hopefully Lost in Love. Well, Gangster, let's hope you got some advice for Lost in Love.
Well, I know I'm not Larry, but here's my advice. Dump that red bone. Dump her today. Find a girl that will keep her toys far away from yours. She's only trying to mix her stuff up with yours, so when she leaves you, she can take some of her toys with her. I've seen this done 100 times before, and I'll see it done 100 times again. This girl is only interested in your toys. Kick her to the curb. She's no good. Ban of the hand. That's what I say. Ban of the hand.
Ban of the hand. You said a mouthful right there, Gangster. Thank you. I was worried you were going to give us some bad advice. Don't take his advice. Wait till Larry comes back. I'll ask him. Oh, you'll enjoy this. We got some special guests coming on to do stupid action figure tricks. I think you're going to really enjoy this one. This is really fun. Got some action figures coming on the show. They're going to do some tricks. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, let's start with number 1. Who's number 1 here? Walter White from New Mexico. What you going to do for us, Walter? Yes, I'm going to have someone throw a VHS cassette tape at my head, and it's not going to hurt at all. Okay, Walter White said he's going to take a VHS videotape to the head, and it won't even hurt him. Let's see if he can do it. Didn't hurt at all. In fact, it kind of tickled. Oof, that looked painful. Let's take a look at that again in slow motion, instant replay. Whew. Walter White, I hope you're okay with that. Oh man, that looked painful. Okay, next up is Governor Tarkin from Alteron. That's just rude, Governor Tarkin. Too soon. What stunt you gonna do for us? With just one pellet, I'm gonna eat all the ghosts on Miss Pac-Man. Well, you see why I call this stupid action figure tricks. Okay, Governor Tarkin, try to eat all the ghosts with just one pellet. Oh, I couldn't do it. What a failure. And he was wearing bedroom slippers. Let's take a look at his failure in slow motion. Okay, next up we have He-Man from Texarkana. He-Man, what are you going to do for us? I'm going to jump off this big old tower onto the floor. That doesn't sound like a really great plan. And it looks like you already lost your nose, He-Man, but go ahead, jump off of it. Gangster, can you go check on him and see if he's okay? Oh, let's look at that again in instant slow motion. Whew, these guys are crazy. Okay, we got one more, and this comes from Han Solo from the planet Undisclosed. He didn't want to tell us where it's from. Han, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to fly my Falcon down some stairs. Well, that sounds pretty easy. Go ahead, try it out. I'm okay. Whew, I think you broke more than you ship on that one. Let's take a look at it in slow motion instant replay. Whew. Man, that looks painful. Oh, what do you think about that, Gangster? Would you have done that?
Man, I ain't that whack. Leave it to a bunch of crazy white boys to do some stunts like that.
Okay, now it looks like it's...
While Junkman's telling you all this BS you don't care about, he forgot to show you one of the action figure stunts. So let's go over to Bespin and watch what the stupid stunt Lobot can do.
I'm gonna get ran over by one of those land speeders.
Well, this should be exciting. Let's see it. Now I guess we have to watch it in slow motion. Now I guess we have to watch it again in slow motion, instant replay. Man, I hadn't seen anything that exciting since I saw Luke Campbell on Solid Gold. Now let's get back over to the Junkman, already in progress.
It's time for our guest, and we got plenty of time, right? We got plenty of time here. So now, coming up, I think you remember this guy from Family Ties. He plays Skippy. You've probably seen him on doing some late night stand-up too. He's been a stand-up comedian. He's been in all kinds of things since leaving Family Ties. Give a warm welcome to Mark.
Junkman?
What, Gangster? I'm trying to introduce Skippy.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't book him on the show. I know I was supposed to call his agent the other day, but man, I got busy. I had to pick up my girlfriend's mom. She's working at second shift over at Popeyes. Sorry about that, dog.
Damn you, Gangster Chewbacca. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. It's last minute. You know, Larry just called me and said he had to take his grandma to that some kind of doctor. I'm sorry. It's last minute here. He's filling in. He won't be again. Next time I'll have somebody else. Sorry about that. That's slow news day. Sorry, this is like a slow episode. Short episode, I should say. Gangster, that's it. We're out of news.
Well, that's okay. I need to get off a little early anyway. You know they gotta sell Tauntaun toes over at Piggly Wiggly?
Well, that's good. I'm glad you got some other plans that you've got to do. Okay, before we leave, tell everyone about social media, how they can follow us.
Okay, let me see if I can remember this. Larry left me the details. On Instagram, it's the Action Figure Show. And he says it's a little complicated. On Twitter, it's Action Fig Show. But that's not really complicated at all. I don't know what he's talking about.
And head over to our social media because we're going to give away an action figure shirt. Or if you win, you can pick the mug if you'd rather have the mug. But we're going to give away a prize. Head over to Action Fig Show on Twitter. Check out the Junkman Facebook group on what is it? MySpace? No, not MySpace. Facebook. I think I already said that. The Facebook Junkman group or the Action Figure Show on Instagram. because we're going to give away an action figure shirt or mug, depending on which one you want. To be honest with you, I like the mug, but the shirt, you know, everybody can see the shirt and they can say, what is the action figure shirt? You can tell them. Well, I think that's it. Say goodnight, Gangster Chewbacca.
Good night, Gangster Chewbacca.
Now, that's original Gangster Chewbacca. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Thumb up so I know you like this video and all that. And we'll be back next Friday for more of the Action Figure Show. Yeah, the Action Figure Show. We are done with that. Dang it, Chewbacca. What are you doing over there? And you're on the phone? You're not paying attention?
Right, Mr. Walters?
How are you talking to this stuff? Get my agent on the phone. This is the worst crap I've ever done.